All right, well, a massive thank you for everyone joining us today. I'm Phil, ZL3PAE, and in front of me here is Greg, ZL1GUD. And today we're out and about in the semi-remote location of Lees Valley, and we're participating in a disaster communication exercise. In particular, today we're looking at portable emergency communications, HF, amateur radio, combined with four-wheel drive access. As it is, New Zealand's located in the middle of the ocean. It's an island nation, and it sits upon a couple of pretty large fault lines, which puts New Zealand at quite considerable risk of large-scale earthquakes and other such disasters, tsunamis for example. Along with that, New Zealand's fairly isolated community-wise. There are some major hub points like Auckland, Wellington, Christchurch. Outside of that, people are sort of populated all around the place, and there's a lot of rural communities, especially in the farming areas. And in the event of a major disaster, they're the ones that are going to face even more issues and potentially be cut off for quite some considerable time when major utilities like power, transport and communications fail. Not only that, with their isolation comes access issues, and that's where the four-wheel drives really come into play. So I'm really grateful to have Greg along today. Greg is a man of many talents, so he is part of the North Canterbury Preparedness Network. So he runs weekly radio check-ins or call-ins with local rural communities there for them to test their disaster preparedness radio networks. We're both a part of the Alpine Fault net, the AFN, and that is a disaster preparedness setup around the country, in fact, of amateur radio operators who come together in the event of a disaster. It's based around the Alpine Fault line going, but it could be used for any disaster, in fact. And then not only that, but Greg is also runs South Island Overlanders, so he's got at least 40 years of experience overlanding, taking and guiding trips around the world in pretty remote locations. And so it's fantastic to have him along today. I've got the Delica D4 four-wheel drive here, and pretty minimal experience. I've been up this road, or from the other side, Oxford Way, and the access there is pretty easy going if you only go up to the first bridge. But once you come to the first bridge and forward, then there's a lot of water crossings and river crossings, for example, and fords, and access becomes quite a bit more difficult. We're coming in from that way today, so you're going to see quite a few of the river crossings that we do here today. And that's where someone like Greg with all those skills and experience really comes in handy, so he can show me the ropes and go over some of the safety briefings and safety procedures. And so we're really testing how we can gain access to these more rural places, remote locations, set up our communication stations, non-reliant on grid power, so we'll be using portable power, and get those communications up and running in a prompt time so that we can help assist providing the emergency communications a link in that network around the country, as well as potentially bringing in and providing emergency supplies to these rural communities. So sit back and relax and enjoy. It's a beautiful day out here today, misty, overcast, about 10 degrees Celsius, but the views are absolutely stunning. So we'll catch you further on down the line. Alright, so this is one of the things I was referring to here. This road that we're on, Lees Valley Road, is an actual road. It's not just a high country farm or anything like that, and there are quite a few properties out this way. And this is one of the two access ways to get out of the property. Now, if you were driving out in a two-wheel drive, for example, coming into here, a regular car, it's very likely when you hit this river, it would definitely be impassable, but were you to attempt that, you'd find yourself probably floating off and at risk of drowning there. So that's how a lot of people could find themselves isolated in a situation like this. There is another way out of the valley, the direction that we're going in, but there are other river crossings to come as well. Greg's actually gone ahead here and just checked the water conditions, the flow rate and the depth to make sure it's good for my vehicle to go through, and then I'm going to cross over. But it's a good example of where four-wheel drives will really come into their own in these sorts of places that are probably otherwise inaccessible to regular road users. And anyway, we'll carry on a little bit further to our location and get set up. Alright, so Greg and I have been maintaining communications with each other car to car using the UHF radios, same sort used by the community emergency radio networks for the rural communities, and just been made aware that our location is just up around the corner here, and in a moment here we'll swap over and show you what it looked like. So here it is, absolutely stunning with the mist outside covering the mountains. A few too many sandflies for my liking, but it was a fantastic location. We had a snack and set up there. So this is Greg's vehicle. He's using the Yaesu FT891 with a vertical antenna and portable battery power. I'm using the Zygo G90 with a lithium battery and solar power, and I've got the pull-out workstation there. Here's Greg using that workstation where we can write down any communications and pass messages on. And this is another view as well as the approximate GPS location of where we were. So let's swap over and see or listen to what an actual QSO or communication sounds like.
Sorry. I'm thinking that you're out the back of Christchurch. I'm also in Christchurch, Greek. So we're both enjoying the same inclement weather. Over.
Yeah, sorry, got confused there. We in the Lees Valley. So we went in on the Lowburn side, and we're probably 35-40 k's in from that side. So from the Oxford side, I don't know, probably 25-30 kilometers. But it's been a really fun morning. It took us 2 hours to do 35 k's, and really deep water crossings and lots of mud. I've driven this road lots of times and it's never been this bad. It was it was something else this morning. Anyway, lots of fun, so that's what it's about. ZL3 ABY, ZL1 GUD.
you say what I thought I heard? Or was I lost in translation? I will follow you to the ends of the earth. Yes, I will follow you for what that's worth. You may not know it, but long ago, felt like my world was a ruin. You knew the words to lift me to my feet, make my life worth pursuing. I will follow you to the ends of the earth. Yes, I will follow you for what that's worth.
I will follow you till all burns down. I will follow you. Don't count me out.
Was it a dream or was it anything? Or was it my wild imagination? Did you say what I thought I heard? Was I lost in translation? I just gotta be patient. Everything up to this point has led me here, and there's nowhere I'd rather be than to be here. All the things that made no sense, that felt so wrong and out of place, now seem to fit perfectly. To tell a story that was meant to be. I can finally say I feel at home. I can finally say I'd love to stay. Chances taken, choices made, cards left on table.
Alright, so we were all done. That was a very successful exercise today. We had a lot of communications, probably the most communications we've had in any test exercise so far. Doing it by ourselves today, and really fantastic. The noise level was very low where we were, given the lack of any noise pollution. And the setup was fantastic. We were up and running, say, within about 5 minutes of being parked up and on the air and ready to receive and relay communications as needed in the event of a disaster. So a really good exercise indeed. Had a great day, and it was without the four-wheel drives there's no way that we would have made it through to the other end here. So really went to show just how useful they are going to be in the event of reaching the isolated and rural communities in a disaster, and how important it is to practice and test your setups. So thanks for watching, and we appreciate it very much. We will catch you in the next video. Cheers.